Meteorologist Lauren Rautenkranz back here with a look at another tornado warning that we have posted for Flagler and Putnam. So you heard just at the top of the 12:30 half hour here, meteorologist Lou Turner, Robert Speta, and myself standing around the monitor discussing what we had just had around 11:30 this morning to 12 with that tornado warning for St. Johns County. However, we still have to focus on what we have happening right now. We have an active tornado warning for Flagler and Putnam counties until 1:15. This is kind of superseding that severe thunderstorm warning that was issued earlier. That it goes until 12:45. So you can see that that's no longer an issue here. We're really going to focus in on our severe thunderstorm warning. And I know Robert Speta is keeping an eye on the radar, driving things for me right now. We've got a lot of lightning that has increased in the core of this thunderstorm. We could even possibly have, again, some flooding and some heavy rains. So folks, it's not the time to look outside the window right now. We do actually want folks to kind of hunker down and stay away from the windows on that first level of their home. It is also now not the time to be picking up the kids. If you're sitting at those carpool lines, maybe you're waiting for school to let out, I would go ahead and see if we can get folks out of the cars and into some schools or some sturdy structures. We have some very strong winds within this cell. Again, tornado warning for Flagler and Putnam until 1:15. Again, you also see the severe thunderstorm warning. That was the first thing that was issued within this. That goes until 12:45. If we can go ahead and zoom on in here, get a little bit more street level. Folks in the Espanola area and then also the Bunnell area, I know, are right in this neck of the woods. You need to be taking cover right now. We do have some pretty high reflectivity. We already have reports of an observed tornado from a cell just to the north of this area. All right, this is south. This is in Flagler County. We're now watching the worst of it pull out of Putnam County, so that's likely to get dropped from that warning. But as of now, this latest tornado warning issued till 1:15 for Flagler and Putnam counties. All right, you can see this is right around the Crescent City area off of US 17, but the worst of it really where you see those bright colors, and it looks like the lower third there, Robert, is kind of blocking the worst of that. But he's timing it out for us. It's moving toward the northeast at 50 miles an hour. Do you hear that? 50 miles an hour, or how fast these storms are racing toward the northeast. So it's going to be out toward the coast by about 1:20 or so, 1:30 or so. So Flagler County is really kind of in the light here of this next system, this strongest part of the storm. Really right on top of the Deanville area, the Crescent City area. So it's 12:45 right now. And these are going to continue to pull toward the northeast. So Bunnell by about 1:08. Remember, this storm pulling very fast toward the northeast. So the rotation indicated even by our storm tracker. No hail indicated in these storms as well, but some very intense rainfall. And it does look like, if maybe we can query this, Robert, at least 70 miles an hour probably within this cell. And that has been kind of the average for those severe thunderstorm warnings this afternoon.
This particular one right now is actually showing 86. Now this is aloft and far away from the radar, but it's pulling 86-mile-per-hour winds being indicated by the radar beam there.
Yep, and so what Robert means is it's higher up in the atmosphere, right? The curvature of the earth. We can't have radars in every single spot across our area, but we do have the Jacksonville International Radar that's at the airport in Duval County, and it's reaching all the way out this way. So when you see those scans come through, right, those are higher up in the atmosphere than they would be for, say, St. Augustine or Ponte Vedra or Jax Beach or downtown Jacksonville, okay, where it can get more surface level. This is much higher up in the atmosphere, and you actually saw those purple lines at the bottom of your screen. That's the feedback. That's kind of as far reaching as our radar can go. So really, we are just pushing the technology this afternoon, trying to get as good of a view. So this definitely does not translate to the surface. This is radar indicated. The last tornado warning we had for St. Johns County was an observed tornado from official reports. Right now, this is just a radar indicated tornado warning. This is for Flagler and Putnam counties until 1:15. You can see there are other severe thunderstorm warnings in central Florida as well. A very busy time of the afternoon. We've got that after school pickup starting to get underway. We've got extracurricular activities as well that are going to be happening. I would say by 2 o'clock we are really quieting down here in Jacksonville, but by 3 o'clock we're shutting off that severe weather threat for us, even in places that are seeing it right now. So still watching that tornado warning, but we do now have the marine warning that's being issued on top of that for St. Johns and Flagler counties. So basically all the Weather Service in Jacksonville is doing is the protocol to continue to extend that warning, even for those waters right off of our coast. So tornado warning, the second or third one that we've seen of the day here, with a lot of lightning in the core of that thunderstorm. That tells you a couple things. It tells you that we've got an intensifying thunderstorm, more of a supercell where it's got a little bit of rotation, right? Those storm winds are rotating within it. Earlier we did have that observed tornado in St. Johns County, so now we've got this tornado warned system based off of radar. Zooming in on our radar here, Robert has it pulled up, and you can see Crescent City is getting slammed with rain. This is just south of Pomona Park, crossing over to the east near Bunnell. And as you're riding up and down 95, you'll see those signs for Bunnell, right? As you head through Flagler County, this is just to the west here of Butler Beach, of Flagler Beach. Love this area of town as well, but you know, we've got this storm to track as it races out toward the coast. So some pretty intense winds, I would say, inbound and outbound, Robert. Noticing quite a good couplet there, headed out toward the coast by 120. So hopefully we can go ahead and extend this or cancel this warning sooner, but we've still got quite some time to track it.
This inbound outbound is about as a concrete couplet as you can get here. As far as away from the radar is concerned. I mean, inbound 81, outbound 10, and that's not the forward motion of the winds. The point is, even if we don't have a tornado on the ground, we definitely have some damaging straight line winds mixed in here. So if you are especially out towards Bunnell, south of Crescent City, I'm going to zoom right in, it's crossing US 17 right now. I'm going to get that off the screen there. Just around Sugar Hill Circle, Hammond, Denver area. That's crossing your area right now. Just towards the east of that, that's where we're seeing some of those higher winds pick up. Then we're going to look out towards Black Point, US 11, the Bunnell area, all the way out towards I-95, and eventually Flagler Beach. If you're in any of those areas, and this is something I want to point out too, is look at this compared to this. That's where your damaging winds are, but there's a lot of rain. There's this big old mask here, which means that if you run outside, you're not going to see this coming. This is rain wrapped. It is moving quickly. There's just a new frame. You got a leading edge of those showers just start to working their way into Bunnell. Right here. And I think right now, you know, we got that coupler right in there crossing Crescent City. I do also want to point out, and if you don't mind, Lauren, I know this is our active warning, but this is separate from our other one that we've seen earlier today, which, if you don't mind, just showing them what I'm talking about here with that debris ball. So
you're talking about the correlation coefficient. That's what you would see if you have one of those apps like a radar scope or something to track that radar professionally here. Looking at the debris signature, right? That shows that something other than rain or hail was being reported in this cell, talking about the potential for trees, fences, you know, whatever it may be, shingles. This actually...
That's the one from earlier, so that's an hour ago.
This was at 11:30. I know it's hard to see because we've got the boxes here, but that was around 11:30 to noon, actually getting pulled up about 10,000 feet in the air and then kind of floating and then dropping back down in the Durban-Nocatee area. So that's why you're seeing it kind of pull up toward the north and then eventually move out there.
Those are the areas we have had a confirmed tornado damage around the International Golf Parkway, Trailhead. We're talking about all the way out there towards Nocatee area, south of just Nocatee. We have seen damage. So if you got reports, you got photos, you want to share with us at our First Coast News Weather Watchers Facebook page, that would be great to share with us. But make sure everybody's staying safe.
And I've added about 25 people to the Weather Watchers group there since I have mentioned that at about 12:15 or so. And I also do want to mention, Robert, because we've got people that do watch us in northern Flagler County. If you're in Jacksonville and you say, but Flagler County's so far away, well, they're kind of that you know, it's that gray area between TV markets. So it's tough for a lot of folks to get, you know, our signal the farther south you go. But this does include kind of central and northern Flagler County. So we do get people that watch out that way, including folks in Crescent City and Bunnell, a lot of our weather watchers. But Palm Coast, that's a pretty, you know, popular spot for folks to tune in and watch us. You're not included in this official tornado warning at this point. So thank you for timing that out, Robert, because folks that might not be in the warning now, you could be seeing that weather kind of intensify because it is pulling up toward the northeast.
Yeah, moving northeast right now at about 50 to 50 miles per hour. And the inflow on the back side of this storm, at least aloft up to about 1,000 feet, is moving about 80, 90 miles per hour. I mean, we're talking about a pretty intense storm here. And this is something else I want to show you. You know, you're going back to this image here. Of course, we got the tornado warning, but there is loads of lightning. We're estimating about 60 to 70 lightning strikes within the course of about 10 minutes. That's one every few seconds we're seeing out here. Well, actually, that's one every about 20 to 30 seconds. So there's lots of lightning taking place within this storm. We have gusty conditions, and not this particular cell, but as I just mentioned an hour ago, we did have that confirmed tornado. This system as a whole is showing already those capability of tornadoes, and not only that, but significant damage, which is why if you are in Bunnell, and this is why, even though this is just on the southern end of where some people can be watching us here, we want to make sure you are taking this seriously, because we have had already reports of serious tornadoes with this system as a, or at least of one serious tornado with the system as a whole here. Lauren?
And speaking of which, Robert, you're exactly right. We actually have those photos. I believe our director and producer in the booth have them ready to go to show you. Again, this is what we have been able to collect so far from St. Johns County, if we're able to pull it up. If not, that's okay. This is live TV, and we just roll with it. There they are. Okay, so confirmed storm damage in St. Johns County. Obviously, the Weather Service in Jacksonville cannot go out there this very moment and say, yes, this was an XYZ kind of tornado, right? All we know is the damage is significant. We saw the debris ball. Robert and I were tracking this storm even before it was warned officially with the tornado warning. And so this is what can happen when you get those strong, not only straight line wind gusts, but of course the rotation. So out of the World Golf Village area, out of the Trail Mark subdivision, again, a lot of damage reported. We are hoping that we don't have anybody that has been, you know, injured, but at this point, pretty significant damage. You can see there, even, you know, I don't even know if that's a small tree branch or limb or a fence post or something that has been kind of
that looks like something from outside
propelled right into the from the exterior to the interior of a home.
I mean, that takes a lot of energy, whatever that is, to just be punched through the exterior into the bedroom of the home there. I mean, that, and it goes back to what we're saying. This system as a whole is pretty serious, and we're already getting these type of damages in place.